Let's get one thing straight right out of the gate. Cheating on your spouse is a bad move, full stop. Humiliating your husband on national television and turning your private vows into public tabloid fodder, it is messy, it is brutal, and nobody is going to stand up and defend those personal choices. But if we can separate the marital fallout from the professional reality just for a second, we need to have a very honest, uncomfortable conversation about Dianna Russini. Because when you strip away the outrage and look strictly at the mechanics of her profession, she technically didn't do anything wrong. In fact, she did exactly what she was hired to do. We as fans, we love to consume NFL news, but we are incredibly naive about how that news is harvested. The job of a top tier NFL insider isn't sitting in a cubicle reading press releases or raising a hand politely at a Tuesday presser. It requires navigating a massive professional paradox. The currency is access. Insiders trade on relationships. You don't get the midnight scoop or a blockbuster trade or a coaching hire by sending a formal email to a team's PR department. The paradox is proximity. The job explicitly demands that you get incredibly close to your sources, coaches, GMs, front office executives, so they trust you with their secrets. But the unspoken rule is that you can never appear close to them in public. It's a high wire act of professional intimacy. You have to be in their inner circle, grabbing drinks at the combine, exchanging late night texts, being the confidant they vent to. The line isn't just blurred, the line is practically non existent by design. Rossini tripped on the wire and let the public see the safety net. This brings us to the loudest voices in the room right now, her peers, specifically the female journalists who are dragging her through the mud. If you listen to the talking points, they're framing this as a crusade for the integrity of women's sports and media. You hear phrases like, this is a bad look for women in a male dominated space, or she's making it harder for the rest of us to be taken seriously. Let me give you the real translation. It's not about solidarity, it's about the bag. The outrage isn't because Rossini crossed the professional moral line. It's because she exposed the highly transactional nature of access journalism. The public is suddenly getting a front row seat to how the sausage is made. They're seeing that the scoops they devour on Sunday mornings are often built on deeply personal text threads, hotel bar meetups, and intense personal rapport. These journalists are terrified that the public, and more importantly, the networks paying their massive salaries, are waking up to the reality of how this access is actually acquired. Rossini pulled back the curtain on the sports media industry's worst kept secret. The backlash she's facing from her peers isn't some righteous moral high ground, it's panic. They don't want their own access, their own methods, and ultimately their own money scrutinized by an audience that was perfectly happy believing in the illusion. Rossini failed at optics, and her personal life is a wreck. But at the core of what the insider is paid to do, she's just playing the exact game how the league designed it.